All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to break down a framework that completely rewires how you think about your career, your income, and most importantly, your time. It's called the ownership ladder. And honestly, it's one of the most powerful tools for understanding how wealth is actually built.
Everything really starts with this idea, this one sentence. It's what separates the people who feel like they're running on a hamster wheel from those who are building something with real, scalable value.
So what is the machine? Well, you can think of it as a metaphor for any system out there that generates value. The real question is, are you just a cog inside of it, or are you the architect who actually owns it? And to really get that difference, we have to look at where most people start out.
Which brings us to our first section, the linear income trap. This is the default path for almost everyone. And you know what? It's built on a pretty deeply flawed premise.
This is what we call linear income. It's simple, right? An hour of your work for an hour of pay. You finish a project, you get a fixed fee. The key here is that it's directly proportional. There's no magic, no leverage. Your output is completely 100% tethered to your input. And that leads us right to the core, inescapable problem. You can't make more time. You just can't. You can try to work harder or longer or faster, but you're gonna hit a wall. It's the single most valuable and, crucially, the most limited resource you've got. And this number right here is the hard ceiling. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how efficient, how dedicated, you will always, always be constrained by the 24 hours in a day. So any strategy that's built just on linear income is, by its very definition, a capped strategy. Okay, so let's look at the first few rungs on the ladder. We'll call this the foundation. Now, these are absolutely essential building blocks for any career, but they all share that exact same fundamental limitation we just talked about. So at level 1, you're just selling your raw time. Think of any hourly job. Then you level up to step 2, you develop a valuable skill. So now your time is worth more. Think of a specialist like a surgeon or a top-tier software engineer. You get more money per hour, but it's still your hour. Then at level 3, maybe you sell an asset like renting out a house you own. Each step gives you a little more leverage, but you're still directly in the middle of the transaction. And this right here is the critical distinction. These foundational levels are absolutely necessary. You have to build skills, you have to earn capital. But, and this is a big but, they will never, on their own, lead to that exponential growth. Why? Because they are not scalable systems. This is the pivot point for the entire framework. On one side, you've got the finite world of linear income. It's capped, it's driven by your direct labor. On the other side, you've got the world of ownership income. It's scalable, it's system-driven, and its potential is, theoretically, infinite. The whole goal is to cross this divide, to move from an income that depends on you showing up to one that's generated by a system you own. Which brings us to the apex. Up here, at the top of the ladder, the strategic thinking changes completely. We're not trying to optimize our time anymore, we're building and controlling engines that generate value all on their own. The top 2 rungs are owning a system, and then, at the very, very peak, owning structural power. This is where real, durable wealth is created, completely disconnected from the number of hours you personally put in. So what is a system? Well, it could be a software product that serves thousands of customers while you sleep. Or maybe it's a franchise business that has proven, repeatable processes. The key word here is engineered. It's built to operate and create value without your constant, direct intervention. You're working on the system, not in it. And at the absolute apex, that's structural power. This is some next-level stuff. It's not just about owning one business. It's about controlling the environment where other businesses have to operate. For example, owning the App Store. That's platform control. You're not just selling one app. You control the entire marketplace for all the apps, and you get a cut of every single transaction. This is the ultimate form of leverage. And that really boils down to this core principle. Look, everyone gets the same 24 hours. The variable that matters isn't how hard you work. It's what you apply that time to. If you apply your time to labor, you get an income. If you apply it to building and acquiring ownership, you get wealth. So let's talk about what it means to actually own the machine. The journey up this ladder requires a really conscious, strategic shift in your thinking. You have to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. And that brings us to the most important question of all, really. Looking at this framework, where do you honestly see yourself right now? Are you selling your time? Are you selling a high-value skill? Or are you starting to build and acquire systems? And that leaves us with this final critical thoughts. The modern economy is just a giant collection of these complex machines. So the ultimate question you have to ask yourself isn't just about working hard. It's about your direction. Are you spending your finite, precious time building your own machine, or are you a component in someone else's?